Chris and his partner haven't trained in the longest time. Last time they trained, he was a little bit weaker than Chris. Chris is a professional athlete at the top of his game, and his buddy is not. But his buddy has the ability to motivate Chris. Even though Chris is way better than his buddy, the fact that his buddy, his training partner, is there to help push him by pushing himself, Chris is getting better. The video should be done after this. There's no reason for me to even finish this video. That's how you're supposed to train. That's the mentality you should see in the gym. Not, yeah, man, good job, high five, or whatever the crap you see with, I'm not gonna mention some of these guys' names, but that kind of shit. We're there to help each other get better, not to be each other's fanboy. Hold your boy accountable. That's what you're talking about. That's awesome. Here we go. Now, we got machine hammer press. Now, a couple things, I'm nitpicky. I'm not a fan of the whole neck going up and down. That's nothing. But for me, again, I'm saying these things because it's out of pure experience. When you're doing pressing movements, when it comes to shoulder press, so much stuff is around your neck. Traps, rhomboids. When we're always kind of doing this, we're taking certain things out of alignment in our shoulders and we can get impingements and stuff. Especially if we're gonna load our shoulders with a good enough amount of weight. Even with lightweight, you wanna keep a neutral spine. But that's what's gonna make the difference in you training a little more optimal. Chris is obviously the best in the world. Some things he can get away with. You guys can't, right? So I'm just helping you guys out. Now, look at his hands, look at his fists. Let's watch him do his reps, right? Elbows underneath his hands, directly underneath so he can press. Time under tension is gonna be a little bit less at the very end because, let's get serious, if he's doing that much shoulder, he's probably getting very close to his 1 rep max weight. You're looking at maybe like 85% of his 1 rep max. The negative doesn't have to be so long on this because he's getting really challenged in that concentric getting it up. Remember, his concentric is taking a longer time to get up than his eccentric, but it's also depending on how big the load is, right? So if your load's not that heavy, then you shouldn't be sitting there just dropping the weight and then working on your concentric. You can watch core activation. He's pushing from his core. His feet are a little bit moving there, but you can tell he's driving to the ground to push himself up. A lot of the time when I coach and we're doing like bench press or shoulder press, your feet are there for help. That's your leverage. That's gonna help you with force. Drive from the floor, squeeze your glutes, push through your core, all the way up. That's when you get that good force of the rest of your body to help isolate your shoulders. That's what's gonna help you control the weight and have a lot more stability when you're doing any kind of pressing. Don't do the tap dancing thing when you're trying to press it, all of a sudden you're tap dancing. Your feet are doing this weird thing. Keep your foundation firm. Keep your feet on the floor, planted, drive through the floor. Let's go. Let's go. Good spot. Now again too, like I'm saying, with the head movement, there's no need for that. Obviously a little bit of momentum there, and they're pushing heavy weight. So I'm gonna give them a go on that. But for you guys out there, just don't. Try your best to keep a nice neutral spine. Now, Chris is doing a version of a rear delt fly. Now he's got a bent hand here. The difference is the change of force that he's using. So once your hand's in closer, you can load the weight more and have a lot more stability when you're pulling. So when you're in this fashion here, as long as we keep this part of your hand straight and stable and we're not trying to pull and then extend. Chris has his arm in a fixed position right here. So when he's moving, he's pulling that weight and being able to just open that rear delt up. He can put a little more weight on the cable and he can pull himself from here. So he's going from here to open. He's not changing any of the orientation from his arm. His arm is in a 90-degree angle from here. There's no flexion or extension from the elbow, just in a fixed position and then opening up from that rear delt. That's a good variation of doing cable rear delt flies. Now you can do them this way and you're gonna make it a lot harder. These rules still apply. It's just you have to make sure that you're not getting any kind of flexion or extension in your elbow when you're moving. So that'll be the biggest point. Regardless if you're doing it this way or this way, you wanna keep a fixed position in the elbow so we're not doing any of this stuff when we're trying to pull the weight out. Keep the force on that rear delt. This is an awesome way to do reverse rear delt flies. Cable flies. Cable reverse. Jesus Christ. Cable rear delt flies. Jesus. Now, a couple things with Chris. his arms start to dip a bit. For you guys out there, your biggest challenge for that exercise will be to do your best to not let your shoulder kind of dip down. If you're doing this exercise, whether your arm is here or extended, you want to make sure it stays up here. And again, we don't want to have it drop, because the lower we start to drop, the more we're asking our lats to help pull back. And we're trying to isolate that rear delt. So next we have high incline hammer strength press. Again, with his buddy, I would keep the head back, right? Nice. So Chris is about to do dumbbell flies with a pronated grip. Now, I've done flies where we are in a neutral position and in a pronated position. The orientation of my chest is going to change based on, how my hand is being rotated, or I would say even the external rotation of my entire arm here. But when it comes to just activating the chest here, when we're in this pronated position, if I put force right here, right away, I feel that coming right across here. If I turn this way, I can feel that weight coming right here. Now, when it comes to shoulder safety or optimal shoulder health when you're doing flies, regardless if you are in a pronated position or a supinated position, when you're in your fully extended position down here, we need to keep our fist above the chest, whether we're in that neutral position or in a pronated position, because then we can keep a load off our shoulder. Like the way he's doing it. And we're also in a nice, really, really high incline. So, where'd my pen go? Damn it. God damn. Can't find my pens. There. So, I like how they're doing this in a very high incline. That's also going to make more sense to doing it in a pronated position, because you're so high up that way. So, when he's pulling back and up, he's getting so much more of a greater load on that part of the chest, right here, the upper chest. This is a very good way to kind of kill two birds with one stone. We're hitting that clavicle head, and we're also hitting that anterior head too. Exercise selection is very crucial. The exercise selected should cover a few things. Number one, most optimal you enjoy it. Number two, can it help us in more than one area that we're hitting? I'm always looking for exercises that are gonna help me with my range of motion, but also help me in a way where I can hit a couple other muscle groups while keeping the majority of the load on the primary muscle. Make sense?
When you're doing dumbbell flies, don't think about touching them. If you touch them, that's bad. As soon as your weights are straight above you, there's no tension on your chest, and that just shows that you're kind of throwing them in, and the whole movement is them punching them back.
I like that point he made. When people hit weights together, they don't have control. I'll put my hand in between, a set, and I'll say, I want you to touch my hand lightly. So if they're doing flies and they're doing this, they gotta really, and I'll do that with pec deck, dumbbell flies, whatever. But it's to make them have to control the weight. If you put your hand between there for your partner, and you gotta trust them not to break your finger, you're forcing your partner to slow that rep down and to control that last little bit of the movement. That last part of the movement from that extension or flexion is the hardest part, or some of the most important parts of your lift. And that can actually show that you are controlling the weight, and you're also forcing that much more time and attention. Good. Open up. And then when you're pushing up, continue opening up. Don't, come down, and then when you're going back up, you start to close off. Keep yourself open the entire time. Open that chest up. Man, that's it, guys. I want to do a video like this so I can give you guys a really good example of, what to do when you're training, how you should look when you're training. Everyone's gonna be different. Obviously, we're not all the same. But when it's time to work, it's time to work. When it's your set, it's your set. And then making sure that when we're in our sets, we're optimizing our sets by having good form, being aware, being in the moment. A focused muscle is a good looking damn muscle. Tell you that straight up. Anyway, guys, hope you liked the video, guys. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. For coaching, johnnyshreve.com, guys. Come get in the best shape of your life for the rest of your life. I do phone consults. If you guys want to know what I do, you can book a phone consult. We can talk about anything you need in that 15 or 30 minutes. And then if you guys decide to, go on with coaching if you want to, then I take the price off any package. Anyway, guys, make sure you follow me on Instagram at _JohnShreve_ and follow my gym at Impact Fitness 56, guys. Anyway, you guys know what it is, man. This video got me pumped up. I kind of want to train shoulders again. Good job, Chris. Anyway, You know how it is, man. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.